Let's begin sitting in Sukhasana, legs crossed, and the posture tall. Breathing deeply in and out. Notice yourself here, arriving on your mat and into your body. Quieting the mind, preparing to go inside so that you can have an aware and therefore safe yoga practice today. Let's put the palms down on the hands, and we'll just start to make some circles with the spine. So rolling to the right, then back, then to the left, and forward, and back, and around in your own way, your own pace. Allowing the spine to move as it wants to, and welcoming without resistance any stiffness or aches that might be present. One more circle around, and then it'll change directions. So this is the time to become aware of how your body feels, and the time for you to accept however your body presents today. And you're going to work with the body and the breath. One more circle around. Now come to sit up tall. The ears stack back over the shoulders, the neck is long. The navel is lifted. We're going to inhale by reaching the arms backwards, stretch the chest, and extend your wrists so you can stretch your forearms. Reach back, stretch. Now do the opposite. Clench your wrists, squeeze your arms towards each other, and round the spine. Do that again. Inhale, stretch back, stretch through the wrists, and exhale, round forward, squeezing the arms together. Inhale, reaching back, stretch through your wrists and your chest. Exhale, squeeze together, rounding the spine. One more time, inhale, and exhale. Now inhale the arms directly up, inhale. Now we're going to exhale and turn to the right, lower both arms. The left hand comes to the right knee, squeeze the air out. All the way out, out. Inhale, come back to center, arms up. Exhale the other direction. You're trying to wring out all of the exhale. Squeeze that exhale out. Inhale back to center. And again, repeating like this. Let your movements match the breath so that your movement indicates the speed and length of both inhale and exhale. Do one more on each side. Next time you exhale, bring your hands behind you. Fingertips point to the back of the mat. We're going to separate the feet in preparation for reverse tabletop. So the first thing is to squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your chest, come into a slight back bend, and then just relax that down. Let the chest fall, the shoulders come forward, chin down, and repeat. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and exhale, release all that. We'll do that 2 more times. Practice the action of squeezing the shoulder blades back, which moves the arm bone into the socket, and release. One more time. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, down and away from the ears, and exhale, release. Now as we do it, we're also going to lift the hips, squeeze the shoulder blades. Here we go. Lift the hips and come into reverse tabletop. Pull your belly in and exhale, lower the hips down and release. Again, squeeze the shoulder blades back, lift the hips, belly in, You can even look down at your belly. And exhale, release. Now this time we're going to lift up. Go ahead, lift up. And now lift up your left arm. Squeeze your right arm and your right shoulder blade back. Back bend. And exhale, sit down again. I'm going to do it on the other side. We're going to lift the hips, come up on the left hand, squeeze the left shoulder blade in, right arm reaches back. It's reverse tabletop. And come to sit. Again, we'll do it again with the right arm. Lift up, reaching back, stretching through the front body, squeezing and strengthening back body. Hips down. We'll do it on the other side now. Reaching up, it's reverse tabletop, stretching and reaching, and sitting down. Very good. Sit in Sukhasana, legs are crossed. Lengthen the spine as much as you can. Keep lengthening your spine as you walk the hands forward. And let the head fall and drop. You want to keep squeezing your shoulder blades down, away from the ears, and back. This is an active pose. We're practicing lengthening the spine as we squeeze the shoulder blades. Deep breath in through the lower back. Feel your lower back expand as you breathe. And just begin to rock back and forth a little bit, wherever that takes you. And the next time you rock forward, rock all the way forward and set yourself up into hands and knees or tabletop. Now to protect the shoulders and the wrists, we're going to externally rotate your arms and also the wrists. So the fingertips point out towards the side, thumbs point towards the top of the mat, and that'll take the creases of your elbows and point them forward. And that's what we want. We want wrists directly under shoulders. And now we'll do a few cat-cows. So squeeze your shoulder blades together and away from the ears, down away from the ears. At the same time, the pelvis tilts forward. You can look up slightly. Here's your inhale. And reverse all that and exhale. Push the shoulders away, pressing into the ground, shins press down, tops of the feet press down, navel rises. Inhale and squeeze the back body. Back body is back bending. Excellent. On the exhale, curl forward. One more. Inhale and back bend. And exhale and round. Now, take your right leg as though you were going to do pigeon and the left leg in plank. You're going to try to keep your hips very steady. Try not to let your hips move through the following exercise. We're going to mobilize the upper back. Take your right hand. You're going to thread your right hand between the foot and the left arm. Round the right side of your back. Reach on the exhale. Reach, reach, reach. And on the inhale, reverse and bring your right arm towards the ceiling as you turn towards the right. But do not let your hips move. Exhale, thread through. Inhale, reach up towards the ceiling. We'll do two more like this. So you can feel that this position in the legs stabilizes the hips. It also stabilizes the lower back. So we can get all the mobility right up into the middle back. And reach. Excellent. Straighten that front leg. Come back to tabletop. And we'll switch. Now it's left leg in pigeon, right leg in plank, and it's the left arm that guides. So now we thread the left arm in the space between the right wrist and left foot. We rotate the spine, round your spine, and then reverse the movement, turn to the left. Arm reaches to the left. Keep your right leg strong and straight. And back and forth like this. It's an inhale to open the chest. It's an exhale to stretch the back. Feeling how your hips are level and steady. And one more time, inhale, reach. And exhale, tabletop. Now let's take the right leg. And the right leg is going to lift up and out to the side, flex the foot, and take a look at your foot. This is a little bit of a side bend to the right, working the right hip. Then we swing the right leg back, cross the midline, send it over to the left. Put the foot down so you can stretch the top of the foot. Look at your foot. Now you're side bending on the right side. And we'll go back and forth like this. So here it's an exhale to lift. Use your outer thigh, squeeze. And it's an inhale to stretch the right side body. Back and forth. Shoulder blades steady. You are allowing your middle spine to side bend. The next time you bring your right leg out to the side, plant the foot in line with the left knee, straight leg, and we're going to come and lift up into gate pose. We lift the arms up and an inhale. And on an exhale, side bend to the right, lifting the left arm to the ceiling. Inhale, bring both arms up. Again, reach to the side. So we're stretching the left side body. And reach the arms up. And again, one more time, stretch to the side, reach the arms up. And then coming down to tabletop. Same thing, other side. Now left leg reaches right out to the side. Look at your foot. It's the left outer thigh that's working. And then we swing it back, cross the midline over to the right, top of the foot down, stretch the foot, look at your foot, and now you have a nice curve on the left side of your back. And repeat this. So we go back and forth, mobilizing the hips, waking up the spine. Keeping your hips as steady as you can. Hands are pushing into the ground. Now the next time the foot comes to the left, plant the foot in line with the right knee. Toes face forward. Lift your torso up off the ground. Arms reach up to the sky. And then we stretch over to the left. And by doing so, we're stretching the right side body. Both arms up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, stretch the right side body. Keep reaching up rather than over. Both arms up, inhale, shoulders down. Bend to the left, stretch the right side body. One more time, inhale. This time on the exhale, coming to tabletop. And now you can place a cushion for your left knee if necessary. You can place a towel or a rolled blanket, or you can fold the yoga mat. We're going to do some hip opening. So the left knee stays where it is, but we step the right foot through, trying to make sure that the knee is stacking directly over the ankle and that your hip and the back is stacking over the knee. Place both hands on the right knee, and we're just going to bounce, just shifting forward and backwards a little bit to get a stretch in the hip flexor on the left side. What's really important here is that you take your tailbone and you make sure that it's tucked under, and that'll stretch the front left thigh. Try to hold your position, hold the sensation of being tucked under while you move through this. We want to stretch muscle, not tendons or ligaments. By locking your pelvis into a posterior tilt, you can now stretch the belly of the muscle rather than the ligaments or tendons. So now come back to center, keep your pelvic tilt under. We're going to reach the arms up. And now we're going to reach the left arm up, really high to stretch the left side body. Right arm externally rotates, the palm turns to the back of the room, and the right arm is reaching back into as far down to the floor as it feels like it, while the left arm is reaching up. So we have this opposing stretch here, and you can feel it strongly on the left side. Keep your pelvis tucked. And we're going to move back and forth like this. Inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, right arm reaches down, left arm reaches up. Even lean back if you'd like. Good, and back and forth like this. Exhale, lift. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, opposing, reaching here. One more time. Very good, gaining some mobility and strength. Good, now hands in prayer, they come down towards the chest. We're going to turn towards the right, bring the left elbow towards the right knee. And then from here, you're going to try to straighten the spine. Try to lift the chest up. Lift the chest up. You don't need to look too far over to the right. You want to keep your neck comfortable. But now we can look at the right foot. This is going to help you with balance. We're going to get ready to stand up like this. Left foot curls under, toes grab. Pull your navel in, pull your pelvic floor up. Inhale here. On an exhale, just straighten the left knee up off the ground. And now you're in a twisted lunge. And you're feeling strong. You're pushing both legs away from each other, making sure that the right side of your hips are tucking in and they're not pushing out to the right. Very good. You can do this. Hold here. We're going to keep the legs like this, but we're going to release the arms and send them backwards towards the back as our head moves towards the front, and feel that opposition. Feet are pressing away. Hands are pressing away from the head. Chest is proud. Belly in. Now arms reach out to the side. Hold it here. Legs are getting strong. Keep your shoulders relaxed as you bring the arms towards overhead, wherever you can. Keep your legs like this, nice and strong. Just bring your torso upright. Legs are still in their lunge, getting strong. Hold here, inhale. Now straighten the legs. On an exhale, we bend both knees. Arms come down. On an inhale, we bring both legs straight, arms up overhead. Back and forth like this. Gaining mobility in the hip joints, in the shoulder joints. Gaining strength in the legs. Your navel and pelvic floor are helping you with balance. Now this time, keep your arms up. Just bend the front knee. We're here in a lunge one more time. Hold here and breathe. Next time you exhale, bring the hands down. And it's tabletop. Take a deep breath in. And slowly exhale. Now we can have the cushion under the right knee. And we can bring the left foot forward. Again, align yourself so that the left knee and ankle are in one vertical line. The right hip and right knee are in one vertical line. Hands come to the left knee. And you're going to tuck your pelvis under as though you had a tail and you want to tuck your tail under. That's going to immediately stretch through the quadricep and the front hip. And then we're just going to shift in quick little shifts forward and backwards. Just touching that moment where you feel more of a stretch. And keep it going back and forth like so, stretching. And just kind of flossing or hydrating this area. Very good. Now come back to center. We're going to do that opposing reach with the arms, where the right arm reaches up now. Left arm externally rotates, palm towards the back, and stretch your arms away from each other. You can have a slight back bend if you want. The right shin is pressing into the floor. Pelvis is tucked under. So we have a lot of stretching going on, a lot of activation here. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, go back to that opposing stretch. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, stretching. So we're stretching the entire psoas muscle. Inhale, arm up. Exhale, stretch. One more time, arm up. Now bring the hands to prayer. We're going to rotate our prayer to the left. So the right arm touches the left thigh. But we try to straighten the spine as much as you can. Try to lift the chest as much as you can. And now we'll look down at the left foot, preparing our mind for strength and balance. We'll take the right toes and tuck them under. And we're going to keep our torso in this shape. But on your next exhale, you're just going to lift the right knee up so that leg is straight. Inhale. And here we go. Right knee up. And now you're in a twisted lunge. Both legs are very strong. The feet are pushing away from one another. You're lengthening your neck. You're lengthening your torso. The left hip is tucking in, so it's directly behind the left knee. Hold here. Good. We're going to keep the legs in this shape. We're going to turn the torso towards the front, but now the arms reach back. So the hands are reaching away from the head. The head is long, neck is long, chest is proud, belly in, pelvic floor lifted, and feet are pressing away from one another. Lots of action in this pose. Keep your breath long and steady. And now reach the arms out to the side. And then keeping the shoulder blades relaxed, reach the arms towards overhead wherever you can. And now we'll just lift the torso up, legs stay the same, and hold here. Inhale and exhale. Now we'll come in and out of this pose. So we'll bend both knees, arms come down. Then straighten both legs, arms reach all the way up. Bend both knees, come all the way down. Then straighten and all the way up. You're going slow on purpose so that you can find balance and strength and also calmness. One more time. And now on this next one, just bend just the front knee. We come back to lunge. Inhale. On your exhale, come to your first child's pose. Big toes together, knees wide apart. Sitting back on your heels if possible, or you can put a bolster, or you could put a block underneath your hips. And let's let the arms be at rest for a moment. And take a moment to rest. Head is down. From here, you're going to lift up your hips. Knees come towards each other a little bit, feet apart, so you're in tabletop. But we're going to walk the hands out forward, keep your hips up nice and high, and wherever your flexibility allows today, just going to try to bring your arms into somewhat of a downward facing dog. Maybe the head touches the ground. And we're stretching the back, stretching the front body, underneath the arms. Very good. Just hold here and breathe. And then we're going to make this dynamic. So we're stretching, then you're coming forward, and as you come forward, it's almost like an upward facing dog where you're squeezing your shoulder blades back, chest out, but also bend your knees, point your toes, squeeze your legs, squeeze your glutes, And then release. And back to puppy dog. Chest down, hips stay high, stretch. Then come forward. And it's an upward facing dog in the upper body. But we squeeze the legs, point, and back and forth like this on your own breath. So we're activating the hamstrings and the glutes. One more time. Excellent. And now bring the knees closer to the hands. The wrists, we'll save the wrists by turning the fingers outward. Thumbs point towards the tops of the mat. Externally rotate at your shoulder. Flex the feet. And we're going to try to come up into downward facing dog. But the first movement I want you to learn is to pull your navel in. And then relax your navel. And pull your navel in. And then just relax those muscles. Now keep the navel in and just lift up the knees. And hold. Hold with your knees up off the ground. And then release the knees. One more time. Lift the navel into the body and lift the knees up only. A slight lift. And so the sensation you're feeling in your abdomen is the first sensation you feel as you correctly move to downward facing dog. So now we'll try adding that to your transition to downward facing. So it's navel in, lift the knees. Now keep lifting, and then send yourself back to downward facing dog. And this time let's have the knees stay very bent. Let the head be heavy. The head is heavy like a stone. Trying to release all thoughts. Let your thoughts pour out and just feel. Trying to lengthen the spine here. So let the legs be bent. And we can work on leg flexibility a little bit later. But right now we're trying to have a long spine. Heavy head. Now walking the feet to the hands. When you arrive, it's big toes together, heels apart, bend the knees deeply. And then lay your chest on your thighs. You may hold the back of your legs. Let the head be heavy. So the knees are bent here. And then keep your knees bent, but just try to flatten and back bend to lift the torso. So the torso, it feels like it's in a back bend or flat. The head is looking at the floor, back of the neck is long. Now lower your seat lower than your shoulders. Lift the chest up high. And now we're ready to come stand safely. Reach the arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, arms come down. And we've arrived in Tadasana. We have some mobility in our spine. We have practiced some balance. We're ready to begin. Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold with deeply bent knees. Deeply bent knees. Let the head be heavy when you arrive. Inhale, halfway to prepare. Exhale to plank. Hold yourself in plank. Make sure your hips are high. Make sure your hips are high and navel is tucked in. Now lower the knees and keep your buttocks up in the air as you lower your chest. Then your chin and slide forward and arrive in baby cobra. Squeeze your legs together, squeeze your glutes together. Inhale, exhale. Press to downward facing dog by lifting your navel and your knees first and then pushing back. Lengthening the spine. Keep your knees bent. Now walk your feet to your hands. Arrive with toes together, heels apart, knees deeply bent, and forward fold over bent knees. Now we'll lift the spine halfway. Your seat becomes lower than your shoulders, And now we're ready to rise in safe posture. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Repeat. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, forward fold over bent knees. Let the head be heavy. Lift halfway, squeeze your shoulder blades together, and step into plank with the other leg. Hold yourself in plank, lift the hips and the navel. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Slide through into your baby cobra. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. And now here we can pedal the feet. So you're putting your mind on your feet, but you must still pay attention to what your shoulders are doing. Doesn't matter how far you can go. What matters is that you're safe and that you feel at ease. So shoulders away from the ears and separate your shoulders a little bit. Good. Now bring the feet together in downward facing dog. And we're going to lift the right leg up high. Lift your right leg straight. Now we're going to bring right knee to right elbow. Shift forward, right knee to right elbow. Squeeze here, hold. And send it back to three-legged downward facing dog. Now your right knee right up the middle. Squeeze and hold. Keep that foot off the mat. And then send the leg back. And now send it over to the left elbow. In a rotation, squeeze and hold. Send it straight up the middle and down. Come to hands and knees for a moment. Sit back in child's pose. We'll start again. That was just to give the wrists a little break. Downward facing dog. Feet together. And now it's left leg straight up. Now left knee to left elbow. Make contact and squeeze on your exhale. Inhale, left leg up. Now directly up the middle. Squeeze, keep your foot off the mat. And straight back. Now bring it over to the right elbow. Squeeze and hold. Exhale, exhale, exhale. And send it back. And now just walk your feet to your hands. Arrive with bent knees, big toes together, heels apart. Allow yourself to forward fold over bent knees. Lift halfway. The seat becomes lower than the shoulders, proud chest. And we stand up safely. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down. Big toes together, heels apart. Hips are back over the ankles. They're not forward over the ankles. Back over the ankles. Lift through the abdomen. Shoulders down, head is back over the shoulders. Tadasana. We're going to try chair pose. Maybe slightly different from what you're used to. But you're going to imagine that your head, your shoulders, and your buttocks are all against a wall. And that you're just sliding down the wall, reaching the arms forward, level with your shoulders, and about shoulder width apart. Belly in, knees are coming together, and you're going to bend the knees in such a way that it feels like you're sliding down a wall. And this is the pose. Keep pulling your navel in. Squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your glutes. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Belly's lifting. There's effort here if you're doing it correctly. Wonderful. This is your first chair pose. Reach the arms out to the side. Bend over those bent knees into a forward fold. Inhale halfway to prepare. Exhale into plank. Inhale here. Now you can continue with knees, chest, and chin, or you can try to slowly lower yourself down in a slow push-up pose. Slowly lowering yourself down. Inhale to baby cobra. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the thighs. Exhale properly into downward facing dog. And then feet together, we take the right leg up to sky. We're going to send the right foot between the hands, turning the left heel onto the ground. Now look at your feet and try to have your feet on two separate tracks. Two separate tracks. Those left toes are pointing forward as much as possible with the heel down. Bending the front knee. We did this in our warm-up. And now we're going to reach the arms out to the side. Lift your torso. The arms come up. Warrior one. But let's try it on for size and see how it feels. So exhale, bend deeper. Inhale, straighten the front leg as you reach the arms up. And go back and forth like this. And you'll feel that you'll need to make some adjustments to your stance. And that's okay. And when you have found it, we'll hold the pose. You want to allow your left hip to come forward. You want to allow the right hip to move back. You want to allow yourself to sit, pulling the navel in, relaxing your shoulders, even if that means the arms need to be forward, or maybe out to the side, or maybe even clasped behind you. Wherever you can find ease in your shoulders. Reach the arms up. Warrior one. Lovely. Now listen up. We're going to bring the hands to frame the front foot. Rotate onto the toes of the left foot. We're going to come into side plank on the left arm and left foot. So send your right foot back. It stacks over the left foot. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Using your abdomen to pull yourself up into an arch shape. If you'd like, you can externally rotate the arm and then bring it alongside the ear. Now for extra strength, you can try to rotate yourself slowly into plank and lower down slowly. You can go for chaturanga to up dog, or you can go to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Very good. Now you can step, walk, or jump your way to forward fold. Inhale, flat back, helps you prepare to come up. Come up in good posture. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Big toes together, heels apart. Making sure that your hips and your shoulders and your ears are all stacked in one line. And we'll come to the chair pose again. Reaching the arms forward, pulling your navel in. We're sliding down that imaginary wall. And every time you slide down, you pull your navel in. Hold yourself here. You're squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs, lifting the arches of your feet. Shoulders are relaxed in their sockets. Your face is relaxed. Try to regulate your breathing. I'm breathing a little heavier because I'm talking, but you can regulate your breathing. Deep breaths in, slow breaths out. Reach the arms out to the side and fold over those bent knees into your forward fold. Head is heavy. Come up halfway to prepare. Step into plank. Hold yourself in plank. And you can do Chaturanga Dandasana to upward facing dog, or whatever variation you like in your Vinyasa. Squeeze your glutes on your cobra, and then downward facing dog. Now it's left leg up, and we bring the left leg through. Before you come up, take a look at your legs. We want both feet on separate tracks. The right toes are trying to point as forward as possible with the heel still down. Left knee is going to be over the left ankle. Pull your abdomen in. Now begin to prepare yourself. Have a proud chest. Lift your back. Reach the arms out to the side. Torso comes up. Feet are pushing away from one another. Reach the arms up. Arriving in Warrior One. And then we'll take it for a test drive. So we reach the arms down, then both legs straight. Reach the arms up. And kind of come in and out of your Warrior One. Make any adjustments necessary to allow your right hip to move forward and your left hip to move backwards. And once you've got it, you can hold the pose. So the right hip's trying to come around, the left hip moving back, pulling your navel in. Try not to strive. Instead, just try to have some alignment with a sense of ease. Again, your arms can be out to the side if that relaxes your shoulders. Hands can be clasped and pulling down behind you. Whatever works to keep your sense of ease through the posture. You can practice being strong, balanced, and at ease at the same time. All right, we're transitioning to our side plank on the right side. Hands come down to frame the foot. Lift the heel of the right leg. We're going to stack the left foot onto the right. Lift the left arm to the ceiling and arrive in your side plank or Vashisthasana. Abdomen is pulling up, shoulder blade tucked into the spine. This is why we did the reverse tabletop warm-up. And then you can externally rotate the left arm and reach it overhead. You can try to be slow on your return to plank. That's a little fun and challenging. And again, coming through a vinyasa if you'd like, or straight to downward facing dog. Remember, for downward facing dog, it's more important that your shoulders feel at ease, that your head can be heavy, and that your spine can be long. And most of us need to bend our knees to accomplish that. Now we'll lift the right leg. We'll bring the right leg between the hands. Look at your feet. This time you're going to line up heel to heel. So the left foot is down, toes are down, heel is down, but heel to heel alignment. So the heels to heels, one straight line. Bend the front knee. Going to lift your chest so you have a straight spine. Left arm reaches alongside the ear overhead. Then it reaches to the ceiling. And then it pulls your torso up. And you arrive in Warrior Two. And again, we'll try this one on for size. So straighten the arms above the head and straighten the right leg. And then come into your Warrior Two. And back and forth like this, making the adjustments necessary. Now the left hip will come forward slightly. But you want the torso to be able to turn as far around as you can. Once you have found the pose, you hold the pose. Couple of key points here is to make sure that your knee is not falling inward, but your knee is still pressing outward, activating the right side of the thigh and the glutes, pulling up in the arches. Hands are reaching away from each other, belly is tucked in, Warrior Two. And you can add a glance over the top hand or maybe even the fingernails of the right hand. Deep breath in and a slow breath out. Keep the legs in the shape they are. Left hand reaches back down the left leg. Right arm reaches up. Just like when we stretched earlier in the opposite ways. Reach. And then forearm heads towards the right thigh, but don't put too much weight there. It's just contact. Left arm reaches towards the ceiling and rotate your spine. Concern yourself more with rotating the spine, pressing the feet away from each other, And then when you feel like that is all aligned, only then would you externally rotate the top arm and then reach it alongside the head. It's not necessary. Breathe deeply, extended side angle. If you'd like more, you can take that right arm and reach it up as well. Come back to warrior two. Straighten the leg. Cartwheel your way down. And let's try coming down to the floor in a three-legged plank. So keep your right leg up high. Lower yourself down slowly. Come into your cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose if you need it. Deep breath in. Slow breath out. Now we take the left leg. Left leg reaches up high. We step it between the hands and pause, setting up for proper alignment. So the right heel is going to be in line with the left heel, as though you're on a balance beam on your heels. Try to keep the right toes down, pull up the arches. Bend that front knee. And we lift the chest proudly. Reach the right arm over your head, then towards the ceiling, rotate your chest and allow that to pull your torso up into warrior two. And we'll try on your warrior two for size. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, bend. We're just going to come back and forth, hydrating the hips in this particular arrangement. Feeling any small adjustments you need to make in your feet. But especially try to adjust how your hips are aligned with the floor. We don't want the hips back too far because you'll lose your balance. We also don't want the right hip especially to be too far to the right because you'll lose your balance. So your hips are directly in the middle. Reaching, arms are reaching away from each other. Your right hip is turning forward a little bit, but your torso is trying to turn around completely. And we can look over the left arm. Relax your gaze. Now keep pulling up your pelvic floor, keeping your energy to yourself. You need this energy. You're going to keep it to yourself. Keep your legs as they are, reaching the right arm back, left hand up. We're reaching the arms in opposing directions, stretching through the middle of the body. And on the exhale, the left forearm is headed towards the left thigh, the right arm towards the ceiling. Focus more on expanding the chest and rotating towards the ceiling. And if this is working for you, stay here. Only if you can maintain as much alignment as possible. Then would you externally rotate the right arm and reach it over the head. Breathing, extended side angle. Feet are pushing away from one another. And we come up into warrior two. And then we come back down. It's a three-legged plank to come down to the floor. Slowly slither your way into cobra or upward facing dog. Then it's child's pose or downward facing dog, your choice. Now we'll walk the feet towards the middle of the mat. And we're going to try to come and sit down. Lift your heels. Go slowly. Sometimes the knees need to do that pop thing. Yeah, and we're lifting the heels. You're going to try to make your thighs level with the ground. Chest up high. Squeeze your ankles together. And you're trying to hold your balance. Very good. Now from here, we'll bring those arms as though we were doing chair. And we're going to try to stand up on the toes. So pull your navel in, pull your pelvic floor up, and try to stand, staying on the toes. Arms reach up tall. Hold yourself here, super tall. super mighty. As the arms come down, the heels come down, the hips move back over the ankles, shoulders over the hips, ears over the shoulders, and arrive in Tadasana. Let's work on some hip mobility for the inner thighs. So we're going to open the stance up to where you can do the squat or malasana or garland pose. So first we'll reach the arms up. This can be quite challenging, but it's okay if it's challenging. It's just going to help you get more and more mobile. So here we're going to lower into a squat, keeping the arms up high, and then pressing right back up. So depending on your shoulder flexibility, you may not get your arms to be in line with your ears, and that's okay. With practice, mobility and freedom in your joints will come. Right now we're just squatting and lifting. Let's do 2 more. Now we're going to eventually hold this. We're going to hold the squat. Here we go. Hands to prayer. Now hold the squat in the low position. If this is difficult for you, please grab some blocks and sit on them. It's more important to gain some mobility right now. The strength comes later. Now, the strength comes from pulling up in the pelvic floor. If I'm actually pulling up a little bit, I'm not totally sinking down. That's just hanging. I'm actually pulling up a little bit, squeezing my chest out. Now from here, put the left hand down, reach the right arm up. It's another middle back mobilization. And we'll switch. Right arm down, left arm up. Back and forth like this. Getting strong thighs, mobilizing the spine. 1 more on each side. Getting good, strong thighs. Good. Excellent. Now, bring the arms up and we'll come rise up tall. And bring the feet together, hands down. Let's try a little fun. Bring the arms back into chair, but this time we'll keep the hands together. And you can have your heels apart and big toes together. We're going to try to come sit down on the toes. The toes are, lift the heels, excuse me. And so we'll squat down with the heels up. Go slowly, pull your belly in, squat down. We're going to try to arrive in the boat pose from here. So it might feel like you plop your butt down, or maybe you do it gracefully. But either way, open your legs so you can try to sit down on the floor and immediately lift your legs up and hold yourself in boat pose. Very good. Hold in boat. And now we're going to come to that reverse tabletop. Some people call it rock star. Fingertips behind. We reach up, lift your left arm with you, and reach back and back bend. And then sit down. And the other side, right arm reaches up, back bend. Good. And now here, you can either use your hands to get you to come standing back up, or if we were down, we can try to roll our way back up. So maybe rolling and rolling your way back up to standing. Let's try to come to Navasana from standing 1 more time. Hands point forward, palms together. Heels lift. We slowly lower down. Pull your navel in. Squeeze your legs together. Open up the legs. And as soon as you land, you squeeze your abdomen. Good. And hold. We'll come into reverse table. Left arm up. Push yourself up. Back bend, stretch. And then sit down. And right arm reaches up as you lift yourself up, reverse tabletop stretch. And down. Excellent. Good. And now we'll come to lay on the back. Roll yourself down to your back. You're going to get ready for some bridge work. So shoulder blades tuck under. Bring your heels close to your buttocks. Sometimes a good measurement for some people is that the middle finger just touches the heels. Okay? Feet are straight. Now, we're going to draw the navel into the body, squeezing your abdomen, but squeeze it in and up towards the head. And now roll your pelvis up off the ground. It's almost like you're standing on your shoulders. Inner thighs squeeze, and you find yourself in bridge pose. Now, bring the arms overhead as you lower your hips down. Inhale. Lift your hips, bring the arms over and down on the floor again. And we'll go back and forth like this. So the awareness is to time the movement of your arms with the movement of your pelvis. That they each finish their movements at the same time. One more time. Now the next time you come to bridge, keep yourself here. If you'd like a challenge, extend the right leg. Try to keep your thighs at the same level. And hold, squeezing left quadricep, left glutes, left hamstring. Point through the right foot, almost like you're standing on your shoulder blades. Hold here, and then release. Come down, take a deep breath in, pull your navel in, and start again. Bridge up, stay here, or for more challenge, left leg straight, keep the thighs on the same level, squeeze your right leg, squeeze your left leg, shoulder blades squeezing, you're strong and calm. Very good. Now we'll take the right ankle over the left knee. If this is enough of a stretch for you, stay here. If you need more, you can pull your left leg in. You don't want to push too hard. If you push too hard, you're going to set off a stress response in the body. So back off just a little bit. Now, we can add a lovely mobilization for the hips here. Arms out to the side. Think about the sole of your right foot. We're going to turn the waist and both legs to the left, stamping the sole of the right foot onto the floor. Then let your right hip soften down to the floor and relax. We're going to lift up the legs using the abdomen. So pull your belly in, lift up your legs. Keep the configuration of your legs. But now the left foot comes down into the middle of the mat. We're going to send the left knee down. We're going to bend that left knee down. We can look here at the camera. And we're stretching the side of the left hip. The right leg allows for that. Drawing the belly in, lift your legs up. And we'll repeat. We'll bring the legs in close to the belly and then rotate both legs to the left, stamping the right foot down. Draw the navel in to pick up the weight of your legs. Left foot rests in the middle of the mat and drive the left knee down towards the floor, stretching through the left hip. Let's do this one more time. Pull the legs into the chest as much as you can, then rotate them both to the left, stamping the right foot on the ground. Draw the navel in to pick up the weight of the legs. Left foot down, Left knee drives towards the floor and stretch. If you like either one of these, feel free to hold either one. Bringing it back to the center. Now stretch both legs wherever that stretch is for you. We just want to squeeze the quads and flex the feet. It kind of helps to reset your kneecaps and your lower back. And now left ankle crosses the right knee, anywhere that you can find somewhat of a relief, a stretch, not too much. So if you're pulling in your right leg, remember, don't pull in to maximum. You don't want it to feel hot. You just want it to feel good, like a little relief. So it's a good idea to back off a few degrees. So now we're going to focus on the sole of the left foot. Squeeze your legs in towards your chest. Rotate at the waist so that both legs go down towards the right. Left foot stamping on the floor. Then immediately let the left hip relax down. Using your abdominal muscles, squeeze your legs in. Right foot down in the center of the mat. And then drawing the right knee down to the floor. The right knee down to the floor so it stretches through the right hip. Abdominals pull in to lift the weight of the legs. Draw the legs close to the chest and turn to the right. Relax at the waist as soon as you can. Navel draws in to lift the weight of the legs. The right foot comes down, right knee drives towards the floor, stretching through the right hip. And we'll do that one more time. So use your abdomen to pull the weight of your legs. Draw your knees as close as you can to your chest, and then send it over to the right. Breathing and stretching, relaxing where you can. Navel draws in. Pull your legs up and around, and that right knee comes to the floor to stretch. Very good. Doing super well. Lovely. Again, you have the freedom to hold either of those as you wish. You could even pause the film and just hold. And to reset the legs, we'll just flex the feet, squeeze the quadriceps, and hold here. Very good. Now we'll bring the legs straight down. Arms come alongside the body. And you're going to lift your chin, lift your face so you can look at your feet, and begin to lift your torso up. Draw your elbows backwards. And then we're going to, just like we did in the warm-up, we're going to pull the shoulder blades in and back, away from the ears. Back bend, the chest lifts. Keep pushing the floor away with your elbows, but keep your chin tucked, just opening up the chest one last time. Inhale. And then exhale, roll yourself down. And prepare yourself for Shavasana. And here the legs can be apart. The knees should roll out to the side to release the top of the hip. Shoulder blades tuck under the lungs. Palms up to help the chest open. And then lengthen the back of your neck. Try to make the back of your neck really long. And breathe here. Close the eyes. And notice that you're finally resting now. Notice where your body touches the floor. And feel that the floor can rise up to support your body. Allow yourself to finally take rest. This is constructive rest. You're not going to fall asleep here. You're going to stay aware. You're going to practice resting with awareness. so that there's what we call alert relaxation. Soften yourself down towards the floor and let yourself rest in Shavasana for a few minutes. Relax your face, relax your eyes. Stay with your alert relaxation. Don't leave this peaceful place just yet. Stay with it. Notice how you feel. Notice how the body feels as one. Take a deep breath in, as though your whole body could breathe at once. You are inhabiting your body all at once with nothing left out. And begin to wiggle the arms, the feet, the legs, moving in any way that makes sense for you, but trying to maintain your sense of peace. And then in your own way, make your way to sitting. Slowly, consciously. Don't leave this quality of peace just yet. When you arrive in your seat, you're arriving in the quality of peace. You arrive sitting in whatever way works for you. You could even stand. Spine is long, the neck is long, the eyes are soft, the jaw is soft, the tongue is relaxed. Feel yourself in your body all at once with nothing left out. Yoga is a practice of self-care. It is only when you spend time with yourself where you can hear all the answers that you need. Now bring one hand to your heart, just one hand, and lay one hand on your heart. And feel your love. There's nothing you have to do with this love. You don't have to give it away. Just notice your own capacity to love. And that is the love that you brought to the mat today to take care of yourself. Bringing the hands in prayer at the heart and look down at your heart. Giving an internal thank you to that love. The love that brought you to the mat today to take good care of yourself. May you go in peace. Namaste.